Thank you so much. Wow. All right, so the theme tonight is tests, and I know everyone is going to talk about the bar exam and like big tests they took, and life is a test. For me, my name is a test because no one knows how to pronounce it. And I don't know if anyone has been through this. I feel like immigrants fall into two categories. Either people give them very authentic names, and to hell with, no one's going to know how to pronounce your name, or, you give them an American name. My parents were in the former category. And what that meant is throughout my life, the pronunciation of my name was always changing. So I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, in the late 1980s. And my teachers were all very waspy, older white women. So the pronunciation of my name for the first portion of my life was Hamdan, because it's a town in Connecticut. And of course, a little Pakistani boy who's really good at math and science is going to be named after a town in Connecticut. Makes sense. It makes sense. And I went through life like that for a long time. And then in middle school, I went through a phase. I was like, I need a new identity. I need to change things up. So I started going by Hamdan. And I remember one moment, there was my social studies teacher, Mr. Sardovsky, and I had forgotten my homework. And I was the best kid in the class, and he was so angry at me. And he said, Hamdan, are you pulling my leg, Hamdan? And I was like, who is he talking to? I was like, oh my God, it's me. And then also, I did not know English metaphors and idioms, so I literally looked at his leg, I looked at my hand, and I was like, no, I am not pulling your leg, Mr. Sadovsky. It happened. And then, a lot of things happened. You might be wondering what's the real way to pronounce it. It's closer to Hamdan, and some people can pronounce it. But I think a really seminal experience in my life was when I took karate. So I was in Brooklyn. My dad was, you have to be strong. You have to learn how to stand up for yourself. We're going to enroll you in Shotokan karate. And he sent my little sister with me. And I'm in this class, and our sensei is this tall, Irish, bald guy named Frank. Sensei Frank, who is an expert in Shotokan karate. And he's teaching us all of the movements and all of the rituals, and every day in the class. And it's just like it became like school again, because I was falling behind on the moves, and I didn't really know how to do the things. And I was like, and my dad was giving me so much pressure. He was like, did you become a black belt yet? Did you become a black belt yet? I was like, I'm still at white. And he was like, oh my God, one more thing for you to suck at. And it was just, I had very strict parents. And, my sister was in the class. And then the sensei started bullying me because I was smart. Because he'd go through the class, he'd say, how long does it take you to do your homework? And I don't know if these kids were smart or dumb, because they'd be like, 5 minutes, sensei, 2 minutes, sensei, 1 minute. And I'm like, I do my homework for 4 hours. And I was just like, 4 hours. And then it was just like horrible, absolutely horrible. And then as you can expect, the sensei could not pronounce my name either. So he would try to pronounce it, he would mangle it. I remember once kids would say, why is your name Ham if you're a Muslim and you don't eat pork? Kids were really weirded out by that. They're like, is this a psyop? What's going on? And one day, my sensei decides he's going to change my and my sister's name. He says, I can't pronounce your name. From now on, you're Bobby and your sister is Mary. And I was like 7, 8 years old, right? So I'm at home, I'm at the dinner table. My dad is, very strict, works very hard. He comes home, he's like, what happened today? What did you learn? Are you a black belt yet? And I'm like, no, but Dad, something funny happened. He did not find it funny. And I was like, Dad, Sensei changed our names. And he drops his fork, he looks up at me, he's like, he what? I say, Sensei gave us new names. And my dad is like, make it make sense. He's like, maybe he gave them good names, like you're, shining star of strength, and you're like genius boy of wisdom, because I told my dad Sensei's like big into the Eastern, mysticism and all that, even though he's a tall white guy named Frank. So, he's like, what did he do? I'm like, Dad, I'm Bobby, and my sister is Mary. My dad is like so angry, and he's like furious. And he's like, you missed the whole point of going to self-defense class, is that you should learn how to stand up for yourself. You should learn how to defend yourself. You can't even learn the moves, but at least you could have said something. Did you say anything? I said, yes, Sensei. And my dad is just furious, and he's so furious. And he says, not only that, you didn't even stand up for your little sister, because that's also the reason I sent you both to this class, so you can learn what it means to be a big brother. You can look out for her, because in life, a lot of things are going to happen, and you guys are going to be there. You have to be there for each other. And then he said, you don't understand the names we gave you. There was a reason behind those names. Your name, Hamdan, it means praise because it means that you are praiseworthy. It means every time we saw you, we remembered God is deserving of praise because he brought this beautiful baby into our life. Your sister's name, Aisha, it means full of life. And you let this bald guy change your names? And I was like, Dad, you don't understand. He's Sensei. He's like big. He's tall. He's like, but my dad's like, he doesn't even have any hair. Because for my dad, my dad has a big head of hair even to this day. God bless him. He's big on the hair. And for my dad, it's like he doesn't care about muscles or, how much you can bench. He cares about how much hair you have because that is the true defining factor of one's manhood. And my dad says, you let him change your name. He doesn't have any hair. And my dad says, son, I'm going to fix this. And I'm like, Dad, please, I'm so scared because my dad is like 5'2", a lawyer. He worked behind a desk his whole life. And it's like, I cannot imagine. In my head, I'm like, my dad's going to go into the dojo and the sensei, my dad's going to bow. They're going to bow and they're going to like kill each other. My dad's going to die. I'm like, Dad, please don't do this. Your children need a father. I'll be Bobby my whole life. My sister will be Mary. Please, Dad. And my dad said, tomorrow I'm going to talk to the sensei. And the whole day I am freaking out. My heart is pounding through my chest because this is the first time anyone has stood up for me. But I am so scared because I love my dad. I love my, whatever. I don't want him to die. And then the whole day I'm like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Am I going to get a call in school? You don't have a father anymore. I don't know what's going to happen. And then I go to karate class because my dad was supposed to call him in the afternoon during his lunch break. I go to karate class and I'm like looking down. I'm so afraid of what's going to happen. We walk in, we're all sitting down and it's the roll call and the sensei is going through the names. I'm waiting for him to say Teddy or Bobby or whatever name he gave me. And he looks at the paper and he's struggling. He says, Hamdan. And he says, Aisha. To this day, I still do not know what my dad told my sensei. But when I think about it, I think about how often there are tests in life and how what we're trying to learn out of something isn't always the most obvious thing. And that day, I learned that standing up for yourself means a lot more than how much you can bench or how many moves of Shotokan karate. Sometimes standing up for yourself means a whole lot more than that. Thank you so much. My name is Hamdan Azhar.